Hey everyone, welcome back to this Getting Started with Code series. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the Codebase indexing feature on Code to help it understand and navigate your project better. So, Codebase indexing is a feature that helps Code understands your project better. You can think of it like giving Code a map of your code so that it knows where to look when you ask questions. Behind the scene, Codebase indexing is done in 4 steps. First, your code will be parsed using TreeSitter, a program that finds semantic blocks in your code. The results will be a tree that shows things like functions, classes, and methods, making the structure of your project easier to understand. Secondly, it will create embeddings, also known as vectors, that represents your code using a special AI model for creating embeddings. After that, it will store the vectors in a database called Qdrant, which is easy to install and use. And finally, the Codebase search tool will be enabled in Code so that the agent can search your project by meaning, not just by keywords. So instead of putting the exact name of the files you want to adjust in the prompt yourself, you can just ask where's the user authentication logic or show me the database connection code, and Code will be able to find the relevant files. Next, let me show you how to get started. So here in VS Code, I already have Code installed, and I have this Next.js project for creating events. Let me show you a bit for context. Here we have events listed, and we can click on one of these to see the event detail. And then we can also sign up or log in if we already have an account. And then create our own event here. Behind the scene, it uses MongoDB for database and NextAuth for authentication. Alright, so next, let's enable Codebase indexing. You can open this database icon just below the chat box, and it will open the code index pop-up. Here, enable the feature, and then you need to add the embedding model that will be used for this feature, as well as the Qdrant database URL. For the embedding model, you can use all kinds of embedding models, either OpenAI, Gemini, Mistral, or just use a local model from Ollama or LM Studio. Here, I will use Ollama, so I will select that, and for the model name, it will be the Dynamic Embed Text Model. You can see the embedding model in the Ollama website here. It's one of the best embedding model available, which surpasses OpenAI Text Embedding 3 Small Model. If you don't want to download a local model, then you can also get a Gemini API key, which has a limited free tier for its embedding model. Simply go to aistudio.google.com, click Get API Key, and then create API key here. Now select the Google Cloud project where the API key will be saved, and then click Generate. Once the key is generated, copy it, and then back in Code, select Gemini as the provider, paste the API key, and then for the model, select Gemini Embedding 001 here. Alright, with the embedding model ready, we need to set up the Qdrant database next. To use Qdrant database, you can sign up for the cloud version on its website or use Docker to host it locally. I recommend you use the Qdrant cloud as it's the easiest way to get started, and Qdrant also has a generous 1 GB forever free tier. So let's sign up for an account here, and after you sign in, here's the Qdrant dashboard. Let's create a free cluster over here. For the name, I will put Kilo Indexing, and for the provider, you can select Amazon or Google Cloud, and then you can select the region of the database as well. I will just leave them at the default, so let's create the cluster. And once the cluster is created, you will be shown the API key to connect to the cluster, as well as the database URL. For now, let's copy the API key over here, and then back in Code, just paste the Qdrant API key. Now we have to adjust the URL as well, so back in Qdrant dashboard, just copy the endpoint here, and then paste it in Code. After that, we have some advanced configuration here to set the search score threshold or maximum search results. We don't have to change it for now, so let's just leave it at the default. Now click Save, and with the setup complete, you can start the Codebase indexing process. Click on the button, and if we scroll up a bit, we can see that the indexing has been initialized here, and it started to index the code blocks. So let's wait for a moment. The indexing here seems to stuck at 60 blocks. I think this is because Gemini embedding model is limited on the free tier. So let's switch back to Ollama for now and just use the Dynamic Embed Text model. Save the changes and then start indexing again. And yeah, this time the indexing progress is going smoothly, so if you get stuck just like I did here, it might be because of the embedding model you're using. Now, I will skip a bit to when the indexing is finished. And now here the indexing has finished, and if we go back to Qdrant, we can view the database content here by navigating to the dashboard. Here we can see all collections stored in the database, and this is the collection storing the Codebase embeddings. So let's click on it, and here's all the data from the project. There is the package.json file as a vector and many more. Okay, now the Codebase indexing is done, let's try to ask a question to KiloCode. I will first change the mode to ask here, and then I will say find the user authentication logic. Submit the prompt and let KiloCode process it for a moment. Now here we can see that KiloCode wants to run the Codebase search tool to access the Qdrant database and find all relevant data. If KiloCode doesn't use the Codebase search tool, you can explicitly ask the agent to do so, just like this. But we don't have to do that here, as it's already asking to use the tool. Okay, let's just allow it for now. And back with the information returned by Qdrant, the agent will continue to read the relevant files. Let's allow it again here. And then it will check a few more files. Let me skip the process a bit here. And then here's the output from the agent. It describes the flow of the user authentication used in this project perfectly. The authentication is implemented using NextAuth, and then there's the API route for the process, followed by front-end forms to receive user data, and then continue to database operations, session management, and authentication flow. And that's really all Codebase indexing does. It provides KiloCode with the ability to search your project by its semantic meaning, not just by the file names and functions. With the help of a vector database, it can understand how your code is structured and what it's doing. The result is more relevant answers and a much more useful coding assistant. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. So, what do you think about the Codebase indexing feature on KiloCode? I encourage you to try it out yourself and let me know about your experiences. I hope you all enjoyed today's video and get some value out of it. With that being said, thanks again for watching until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in other videos. Bye bye!